There we are, I've got my four corners set out, measured up, plumb line on the two long edges. If you can see that on the shot, it's 4.2 meters long and 2.6 wide to the outside of the shed. So I've taken the outside of the bricks to that so that they're actually all on the inside. There we are, one shed base. Some bricks and mortar left over, so I just made a rough step, which I'll finish off when the shed's there and know how high to make it. Oh, that's me for the evening. That's sand. I'll finish. Progress with the chicken shed, inside the chicken shed. I removed this window from the whole wall. I'm going to stairgate here. I've done is I've shot the slats out the side with the opening. And I think these are plastic things because it's flexible getting away. Because runners for a sliding door. So I've got runners at the top and the bottom. And I cut out two bits of what I'm going to shade with, which is this firewall from Finland. And I've got some glue and handset, so I'm going to glue them together back to back. And then I'm going to make a handle with the rest of the slats I've got these here. So I'm going to screw one side through to the other and then give a brick to the door. And then the shed is now lined with this sideboard. I've lined this at the top end, so it's then lined with polystyrene. We'll do the door and do that last. These are the roosting bars at the back of the shed for chickens. Got to make laying boxes. And then out here, another job to do today is that's a bunch of vinyl there, that long tube. It's wood coloured vinyl, and I'm going to lay that in one piece with a stand up, an 80 centimetre stand up around the bottom, which will make it easy for keeping it clean, getting the chicken shit out. And then we're going to put either some planks or some trays underneath the roosts. Johanna reminded me last night that they do most of their shitting at night, so when they're asleep, so they'll sit there, and we're having a composter outside as part of our planning permission for having chickens, which is good for the garden anyway. But having vinyl in there will mean it can be kept clean, and then the joints, I'm taping all the joints so that there aren't any joints for dust and parasites and stuff to get into, to keep the chickens nice and healthy. Don't need any heating in here. The object is to keep the shed from getting to below -20. We only occasionally get those temperatures in the this far south in Sweden, but it's got to be kept at, you know, it will stay above freezing in here now, regardless of how cold it gets. Even though I'm not insulating this sliding shutter, there's the other thing I've got to do is some ventilation. This is the dividing wall, and I built this wall just out of some sort of 2-inch batten, or I don't know, 1.5-inch batten, and so that's there. And the front of the shed, all this stuff is getting rained on at the moment. That's an old 1950s kitchen that came out of Johanna's sister's house, and I'm going to basically pimp that, kind of restore it, and we're going to have a 50s type kitchen. So that's the project for the spring, maybe in the winter. I don't know, see how busy I am. And you can see now, stood in the chicken shed, looking up where the big shed was moved from, and you can see up that little playhouse at the top there. That's going to be moved down to where the trampoline's being moved down as well, around to the end of the chickens, because where that big wood pile is where the garage and yippee my workshop is going to go. And over there is the view of the steps. All the bikes are, and the winter tyres for the cars are ready to go on there. But yeah, the view from the chicken shed, which I'm just about to enjoy with a cup of tea and a cigarette. Next up, that's the door frame. That's the board for the bottom of that door. Board on either side of the bottom, and I'm going to put some of this metal grill on, same as the chicken fence over there. So we've got this lino down with the up the walls, and then in here it's up the walls, the inside as well. So I'll do some tidying up now with just sealing the joints with this very strong brown tape, and then I'm going to hang the door. I'll be ready for the chickens tonight. Here's my window, all finished. The runners, and that's the handle. So this goes that shut. I'm going to put a board on the outside, so that will be dark. And I may just put something at this end to hold it. This end, I've got some of these long things which I might just screw one in from the top to the bottom, and that will lock on there, so that doesn't present any potential problems. So I'm quite pleased with that. And the door is going there, and then I'm just going to put the stuff that's more vulnerable to the rain back in the shed, because I don't want the chickens to have too much distraction, because it's going to be their first night in there tonight. So the next job outside is just, I've got the board ready there just to cut the side just on the outside there, and I'm quite pleased with that. And then in due course I'll probably tomorrow go and get some long planks to put a long plank from what's now the doorway was the window back into the pen here, and make a wire tunnel so that they can come in and out during the day as they please. What they do at the moment is they jump on that little rabbit hutch, which was when they were little, that was their little cage the first few days they were here, and pretty soon they started sleeping up in the tree, and they sleep up that tree, those two branches out there. So the water will go in the shed tonight and some food, and now it's time for a cup of tea. There's the chickens, come and have a look. I'm just having my cup of tea and a cigarette. Are you going to go out the back, girls, and have a look at your new roosting poles? No food and water in there yet, but there will be later. And I'm just going to put the door up.